No trip to a county fair should be complete without taking in a livestock show. The buzz of preparing the animals highlights how important these events are to the participants.
In the ring today, they'll win awards, ribbons and banners for their placing in the ring. And then if they choose to sell their animal at the livestock sale tonight, that's where they'll get some monetary compensation or monetary benefit from the people in the community who buy those animals. And yes, they either put that towards a college fund or they put that towards next year's project and the expenses of purchasing next year's project and feeding next year's project. So, but most of the kids, I would say, probably just do it for the love of animals. You know, it's just a benefit to them.
Shows like this one at the annual Madison County Fair are usually hosted by the local 4-H club, the youth program of Cooperative Extension. As the Madison County 4-H specialist, Mallory helps many students to plan a livestock project in the winter, culminating in the show.
So I have to work with them a lot at home, like 3 or 4 times a week. I'll take them out and walk them around. You gotta tap them right here on their jaw to get them to move right. And then they also get marshmallows that helps keep their head up too. It teaches you a lot. I've learned a lot in the 7 years I've been doing it. It's really fun. I enjoy it a lot, and it's a good experience.
Mallory says showing livestock is not just for farm kids. About half of her students come from a farm background. The other half get interested in showing animals and come to her to sign up. She's glad to work with anyone, and many students are eager to have an outside project.
Especially with 2020 being so hard on our youth, the livestock project gives the kids a way to get outside. You know, they have responsibilities. They have something they have to take care of twice, 3 times a day. You know, they have to work with them. They have to build a bond with them. It definitely gets them off their electronic devices, and you know, they're responsible for that animal, and they have to make sure it reaches the proper weight, it's getting the proper health care, it's getting the proper nutrition it needs to make it here to the fair and be successful.
And there's more to showing an animal than training it for the ring. There's math and some dirty work, and maybe even some sibling rivalry.
If you want to be able to sell them, you got to have them reach 225 but not go over 300. So you want to have the responsibility of pushing them to 225, but then you got to slack off a little bit so now that then they don't go overweight. Because a pig can gain 50 pounds in 10 days if they want. So you don't want to push them and keep pushing, because then you won't be able to sell.
I normally get up and feed them in the mornings, and then if they need to be cleaned out, I'll clean out the pens, and I'll feed them again in the afternoon and water them and stuff. And as it gets closer to fair time, we'll feed them and water them, and we'll weigh them every so often and see how they're doing.
Blake GEER has been showing pigs for 8 years, Tyler GEER for 10. Blake says one year he'll win a blue ribbon. The next year, Tyler wins. So it stays friendly in the family. Raising an animal to show is a real-time commitment, whether you walk out to the family barn or have to drive to the animal each day. And it gives a student life skills that can be hard to get from just a textbook.
The final part of their project would be to turn in a record book, which is a financial record of the expenses they've had, as well as their experiences with the project. So, you know, how much they've spent on feed, how much they've spent on equipment. You know, it teaches them to keep track of that, those expenses. And yes, they also have to manage their time wisely. A lot of these kids, this is not the only thing that they do. So beyond school work and maybe after school sports, after school jobs, they do have the responsibility for their animals. So sometimes that means an early morning or a late night as the pig squeals the whole time.
This is not just a hobby for these Madison County 4-H'ers. Mallory says depending on the auction price, some hogs can bring between $1,600 and $2,100 when they're sold. 4-H specialists like Mallory are stationed in almost every Virginia locality, ready to help any young person start on the path to the show ring at the next county fair.
If you're interested in getting involved in a livestock project, contact your local extension office. There's one in every county within our state of Virginia, so you can reach out to them and they can help get you on the right path to where you need to be to get involved in the livestock project. And these are pigs, sheep, goats, hogs, cattle that we have here in the barn, but you know, we have a variety of projects through 4-H, whether it's animal projects, STEM projects, cooking projects. There's just such a wide variety, so just reach out to the local extension office if you're interested in getting involved.
The next time you visit a county fair, be sure to stop by the livestock barns. There's a whole lot of learning going on. In Madison County, Virginia, I'm Ricky Gibson reporting.